Okay, hello boys and girls. So now we're on Basic Facts 10. We're going to do the same thing we did yesterday with our Basic Facts 9. So what we did is we did our trailing zeros. We put our zeros and multiplied 26 and 1. We're doing the same thing, except for this time we're using a larger number. Before we were at the tens and now we are at the hundreds. So now it's going to be the same process. So let's practice it together. I'm first going to take this 0, move it over here. Now I'm going to look at 623 and 1. Remember, guys, no matter how large the number, if it's multiplied by 1, it is that number. So 623 times 1 is 623. So that means that 623 times 10 is 6,230. Because remember, we are still counting this as a regular number. Now look, I have 4 digits here. If I have 4 digits, I know that's in my thousands place and I have to include my comma. So now let's practice it again. Same situation, I circle my 0, I move it over. Now I look at my 962 and 1. Same thing. Remember, any number, no matter how large or how small, multiplied by 1 is that number. So 962 times 1 should be 962. So I'm going to put 962. So now that I have 962, I know I have 4 digits. So if I have 4 digits, this is my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So I know I have to put a comma right there. Now let's continue. I'm going to get all my zeros and I'm going to put it to the side. Now I have 312 and 1. Now that we know the rule, I know that 312 times 1 should be 312. Again, I have 4 digits, ones, tens, hundred, thousands. I have to put my comma there. Zero, my trailing 0, I'm moving it to the side. Looking at my 130 and the 1. 130 times 1, what is 130 times 1, everybody? Exactly, it should just be that number. So 130 times 1 is 130. So let's look here, I have 4 digits again, so I know I have to put my comma. 1,300, 130 times 10 equals 1,300. Okay, so again, I'm going to look. I'm going to move my 0 to the side. I'm going to multiply 448 and 1. 448 times 1 is just 448. Again, I have 4 digits. I'm going to have to add a comma. So 448 times 10 should be 4,480. Now let's look at letter F. So here again, we're missing here. So what I like to do here, and what I did before, is I already had trailed my 0. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trail it, and I'm going to circle both of them. So now I only have these 2 numbers here. So here, now that I've already crossed out my 0, we're not looking at my 0 anymore. This is now 572. So 572 and 1. So this should be 572. Whatever I underline here, that's what I need to write. Now here, instead of trailing my zeros, I'm now going to take them out. I'm not involving them anymore because I know that I moved this 0 over here. So now all I'm going to look at is 186 and 1. So I know whatever number I multiply, and if it equals that number, it has to be 186. I'm going to continue the same pattern, taking the 0, moving it over. Now all I have left is my 457 and 1, so this should be 457. Anything I underline here, that's what it should be multiplied by. So I'm going to do it for both of them here. So now I have 1 and 800 75. So I need to multiply this by 875. Underline here. So this should be 299. Now let's look to letter K. K is the same process that we did here with our letters F through J. So now let's look. I know that I have to trail my 0. So now I'm just looking at 554. So I need to know what number times 1 should give me 554. Well, I know it should be that exact same number, so 554. So I'm going to look, is there any answer choices? This is not 554, not 554, not 554, but this one right here, 554. Now let's look at letter L. What number is missing in the following equation? Again, I know I had to trail my 0. So now I'm just looking at the numbers that I underline. And I need to multiply by what number to give me that? Well, I have to multiply by 925. So I'm going to look at my answer choices. Do I have a 925? I have one here, not there, or not there. So F should be my answer.